What is up, everybody? You know, I always start this show off by showing love to those companies who help make this podcast possible. First is going to be Mr. HVAC Tactical, Mr. Ben Poole, who was on here last week. And don't forget, even though I purchased some stuff for myself and Rookie, and I didn't use my own fucking code. But remember, Ben announced last week, which is awesome. I thank him so much for this. If you use the discount code HVAC Uncensored, no spaces, just straight through, you will save 20% off on any merch that you buy from HVAC Tactical. So I wish I would have used my own code, but shit happens. Guys, when I tell you this, man, he has some of the, I'm going to show some of these up. I have almost every single one of these shirts. The quality of merch that Ben puts out is bar none like some of the best there is, to be honest with you. Like I said last week, that's part of the reason that I haven't done merch, because if I do, I want it to be this kind of quality. I love wearing his stuff. I've washed them countless times. They still are the same size. They're not belly shirts and all that kind of stuff. But anything in here, obviously the tactical awards, the tickets are sold out. That's not what the 20% is all for. But you go on here and buy a magazine, some decals, some gear, some hats, long sleeve, short sleeve shirts, outerwear. I ordered a belt, and I got me and Rookie. I ordered both of us one of these ones. I already have the black one down here. Go ahead, pick it up. Use the discount code HVAC Uncensored and save 20%. All right, and you're also supporting a friend in the trade. And you guys know what Ben does, and how he's trying to help. This industry, the movement that is going on about doing good work at a fair price and keep raising the game for everybody. So by purchasing some of this stuff, you're going to rock some amazing, fantastic, fucking merch, as well as support and amazing calls. So go over to HVAC Tactical, use the discount code HVAC Uncensored, no spaces, and save 20% on your order. Next is going to be, I'm going to do 3 tonight, so just bear with me. Guys, is my friends over at HOUSECALL Pro. This link, I'll tell you this discount code, but it is, it's kind of hard for me to remember, to be honest with you. But guys, I always say this, and all of you that are out there, if you're running a business, or say you're a small company and you guys are still using pen and paper, believe it or not, there's still companies out there using pen and paper. I don't care if you're a HVAC, plumbing, electrical, cleaning company, whatever it is. HOUSECALL Pro is the best bang for your buck. I promise you. I used to be the hardest one on them. I talked the most shit. You can't do this. You can't do that. Well, guess what? They proved me wrong, and we use HOUSECALL Pro at Beltway, and we can use them for a good little bit. Do I think at some point maybe we'll outgrow them? Maybe, but it hasn't happened yet. And for what you get, the jam-packed features, the add-ons that you can add on, even with adding on all the add-ons, like one of my other sponsors, COMPANYCAM, it is a fraction of the cost of these other big boys out there. And that's just the God's honest truth. I don't think you realize, I think I just hawked something on my mic. But anyway, yes, go check out HOUSECALL Pro. You get a free 14-day trial, and if you use my code, which is going to be in the show description, it's housecallpro.com/HVAC _uncensored. So they put my logo, my name in it, but it's a little different. So just to be correct, in case I said it wrong, just go into the show notes all the way at the bottom. You'll see HOUSECALL Pro, and the links for all of my sponsors will be down there, as well as the discount code for HVAC Tactical. So remember, work simpler, grow smarter. And last but not least is my friends over at BLUON. I've been getting a bunch of emails from people saying that they've been checking out the Master Mechanic, the BLUON AI tech support feature, and knowing that it's Spanish. Apparently, there's a lot of guys that didn't know that down in the Texas, in the South, even close to me. But a lot of these guys have been down south, like Louisiana, Mississippi, Texas. The ones that have reached out to me, saying that's awesome, because a lot of times, Spanish is their first language, and being able to do that just makes it easier for them. And being able to have somebody to ask questions. It's sad how many technicians are running around out there that have the best of intentions. They want to be good techs. They are trying to learn, but they don't have the resources, to be able to get better. They don't have somebody to call when they get stuck to say, hey, man, I'm on this problem. I checked A, B, C, D. I think I'm going in the right direction. Like, what am I missing? They don't have that. That's what Master Mechanic is. It's not to do your job for you. It's for those techs out there to know they're not alone. They have something to be able to help them get through a problem. At the same time, they're learning something. So the next time they find that similar problem, they're going to be able to get through it because they learned from the last time that they used it. All right? And remember, BLUON still has the regular tech support, but this is free to everybody. Use it as many times as you want. And remember, the more descriptive that you talk to it, the better the response is going to be. And with that being said, remember, BLUON upgrading the HVAC industry. Let's get on with this Pledge of Allegiance. Got an amazing show for you tonight. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless the United States, and thank you to all those men and women who defend it.
Five, four, three, two, one, go.
Welcome to the #1 rated HVAC podcast. If you're looking to grow in the HVAC industry, then you're in the right spot. Blue collar people talking about blue collar shit. Let's get better together. So turn up the volume, buckle your seatbelt, and let's welcome your host, Gil KV Jr.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the HVAC Uncensored podcast. I am your host, Gil KV Jr. Here we are, another Wednesday, another hump day. I hope all of you had an absolutely amazing Christmas. Mine was awesome. The kids were happy. It's always the hustle and bustle. I took some time off before the holiday. As a lot of you guys know, I've been trying to move. And it hasn't happened yet. It's just trying to find it. So we didn't go on vacation. I never had that break from work. So I took off before that. And it was awesome just having some time off, man. I really needed it to be able to just reset my brain. Not that I don't love what I do. I love what I do and where I do it. But just having that little bit of a break was awesome. So, and it capped off with Christmas. Today was my first day back. But super, super pumped. And an amazing guest tonight. Mr. James Alul, what is up, my brother? Merry Christmas, buddy. It's good to see you, man. But obviously I'm happy. My Ravens beat the 49ers. Didn't think that was going to happen. I mean, I had some, obviously I support my team, but let's be honest, I thought the 49ers were the truth, and I think we just got the best of them, but I'll take it. So I had to do that. I'm going to take this thing off, though, because it's loud as it's jingling around my neck. With that being said, guys, I got an amazing show for you tonight, and I love these kind of shows that, it's people who listen to the show, and they're techs in the field. They do the same thing that every one of you do every day, and you guys know that I love hearing people's story, where they live, how they got in the trade, what they plan on doing in the future, etc. Just hearing people's story. The blue-collar industry and how people decide to get into it and why they love it and why they do what they do. And tonight is no different than that. We have one of those. A lot of you know he's normally in the chat. Mr. Nate Christensen, HVAC.Nate on Instagram. He's normally in the chat with you guys. Tonight he is on the show. So let's give him a big welcome, Mr. Where's the button? Mr. Nate.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. What's up, buddy? Thank you for being here, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Honestly, it's a dream come true because I've started listening to your podcast like over a year ago, and now I'm on it, so it's pretty cool. So
yeah, that's awesome. And just so anybody that listens out there, not that I'll just let any anybody on here, but you don't need a following to come on here. Like I want people to know that. I've had messages from people saying, hey, when I get more subscribers or more followers, can I come on the podcast? Like, guys, you don't need that. I'm not. That's not what this is about. I love hearing people's story. If I don't know you, I'm gonna ask a little bit about your story, and you're more than welcome to come on. So I just want to say that first and foremost. But yeah, Nate, how was your holiday? Everything good?
It was great. It was my boys' first Christmas. I have twin boys, by the way. I don't know if you knew
Nice.
that, but yeah, it was their first Christmas. So we spoiled them a little bit too much, but hey, it is what it is. You only get one first Christmas. So yeah, had a really good holiday though. So
That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's a first Christmas. So I have a 18-year-old boy, 15-year-old boy, 8-year-old daughter, 6-year-old daughter. So it's Christmas gets a little expensive, but it's
I
it's
can
only
imagine.
one day, man. And as long as the kids are happy, then I got some cool stuff too. I won't lie, but it's about the kids, man. As long as they're happy, I'm happy, and
Right.
that's awesome. I don't blame you for going out on the first Christmas. So congratulations on the babies. I
Thank
didn't
you.
know that, but that's awesome.
Thank
Man.
you
There's
very
nothing
much.
like
Yeah.
being a father in this world.
Right. Yeah, for
Um,
sure. Yeah.
With that, and everybody, I hope all of you had in the chat had an amazing Christmas as well. I put out that post, and thank you to people that replied to it. I meant to come back and reply to everybody individually, especially my friends who did it on it. But like I was telling Nate earlier, I had a few glasses of wine on Christmas, so I didn't make it back to shit. So,
Hey, it
with that,
happens.
hey, and I'm not a big drinker, so, and I don't like wine, but with that being said,
Nothing
man, let
wrong with
everybody
that.
know a little bit about you, man. Like how long you been in the trade, where you located, all that good stuff.
So I've been in the trade for almost 3 years now. So I'm still pretty new. From day one, the first day I was in the trade, I've loved it ever since. So a little background of how I got into the trade. I was in business school, so kind of related, but completely different on what I wanted to do in the beginning. I was in business school and I was looking for a summer job. So I was in Kentucky at the time during the summer, and I found this HVAC company, this industrial HVAC company that strictly did like rooftop RTU maintenances all summer long, and they were hiring some extra help. So just to do filter changes, belt changes, all that. So that's what I did for the whole summer, and it was the first job I had ever had growing up where I just wanted to go to work, and I would get up at 4:30 a.m. and get out the door and be ready to go. Like I was interested in it. I was interested in how these machines worked, and I was usually with a supervisor or like a technician, a service technician most of the day, and I would just talk their ear off, asking them a bunch of questions on how the stuff worked, just because
Good.
it was the first thing I encountered because I was still early in college. That I was really interested in because business school. I mean, who's really interested in business school? It's pretty boring most of the time. So, I mean, it was really interesting to me, and that's how I got onto it. And I went back to school. I continued in business for a while, and then figured out it wasn't for me. That's that technical side of things. And then I started at a residential HVAC company in Indiana in 2020. So I've been in the industry ever since as a full-time residential technician. So.
Nice. That's awesome, man. So let me ask you this: what were you planning to do with the business degree? Did you get that because you wanted it, or you thought that was like the next step to try to do something?
Honestly, I wanted to stay at that school because I was there for 2 years at that point, and I wanted to stay at that school because I liked the people there. I had a bunch of friends there, and it was like the 4-year degree that would have kept me there. And my plan for it was that I was going to start a landscaping business after I finished. Obviously, I mean, that route of things kind of went an opposite way, but I'm not into landscaping anymore. But yeah, that's kind of where the direction of things took me, is like I just wanted to stay at that school. So that was the 4-year degree that kept me there. So.
Have you thought about it, with some of the business stuff you learned about at some point, maybe starting your own HVAC company?
Yeah, I've thought about it. I'm really happy with the company I'm at right now. I mean, they really take care of us, and I mean, several people in this chat are going to be in this podcast, so I can tell you right now, everyone that I've worked with we're all happy here. And I mean, I'm happy for now. So we'll see what happens though in the future. So,
well, that's awesome, man. And I'm glad to hear. I love hearing places out there that treat their people good, and take care of them, and people love where they work. And
for sure.
I think you're hearing that more and more, because you used to hear all the horror stories is all you ever heard. This place sucks.
Oh, yeah.
They overwork me and underpay me. But hearing about places treating their people good and loving to go to work, that's awesome that you have one of those. And then what we talked about, off air about AHR, that's a pretty cool boss, man.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Yeah, I'm really appreciative. For people who didn't hear before off broadcast, my boss is sending me for a whole day paid to AHR. So that's really awesome that he gives us that kind of opportunities, and he always sends us to trainings and pays for that as well. So it's really cool that I have an opportunity like that to work for someone like that. So
yeah, that is awesome. How big is the company you work for? How many guys total?
I think we have around 13 technicians currently. We have a couple install teams, but I know we're under 50 employees at this point. So, but we're still a decently sized company in the area. We have around 5,000 maintenance customers, so we're pretty big in the area. So we keep up with our work, obviously.
5,000. That's fucking amazing. That's really good. So,
for sure. Yeah.
Especially if you're at like 20, so you got like 20, 25 employees,
right?
Total. 5,000 maintenance contracts that's fucking amazing. That your boss should have your owner should pat himself on the back, because that's awesome. Yeah. I wish he does. We don't have 5,000. I wish.
Right. Well, he does good. I mean, he, like I said, he takes care of us, and we're a family owned and operated company, so it's been that way from the beginning. So, I mean, I can't complain at all. So
sweet, man. What is your brand? What are you guys a dealer of?
We do Daikin, Goodman. Mostly, in certain circumstances, like if we're doing a boiler, we'll kind of pick and choose what we do. But yeah, Daikin and Goodman are our two main brands.
Have you guys had? So we actually did Goodman for a little bit. Now we're a Lennox dealer. And so we had an issue with the local supplier that I won't go into on air. I get sued for that. But we were having some issues, man, with their stuff, and I have our installers we have amazing install teams. So I know it wasn't them, but especially their it was the 16 SEER 2-stage heat pumps that don't have the contactor in them.
Okay. Well, the one with the big circuit board, right?
Yes, we kept having issues with those, and then they're like, factory, they want you to put hard starts on them. Okay, are you going to pay for that? Like, I can't charge the customer for it. Like,
well, we've run into that too. The hard start thing, it'll throw like a locked rotor code, and they always say put a hard start on it, put a hard start on it, and that was my question too. Is like, well, why don't we just put it in at the factory, and then you won't have that issue. But I don't know. It's kind of a thing where it's above my pay grade at that point. Yeah. So,
and I firmly believe, like, we had a bunch of Goodmans that we put in when, like, I think that Goodman got a bad name, and I remember
definitely
when they would sell to anybody, and that was the problem. You had people that didn't know what they were doing, putting in the equipment. The homeowner doesn't know any different, and when the system stops working, this Goodman's a piece of shit. Well, it's not the Goodman's fault that it wasn't installed properly. So we ended up moving. We got a deal from Lennox that was out of this world. They fill all of our needs. We did have a few issues with some of the Goodman stuff, but it was minor, and everybody has issues. I mean, knock on wood, we haven't had any issues with Lennox so far. They have an S40 thermostat. There was a bad batch. So
those
everybody has
S30s, S40s. I mean, I used to work for a company who did Lennox, so I experienced a lot of problems with the S30. And I mean, I don't know about the S40 because I haven't dealt with that much, but I know the S30 had a ton of problems with the interference voltage. Yeah. So I saw
think
that
some
a
of
lot.
that was cleaned up with the S40 because we haven't had as many issues, but we had the same issues with the S30. I was a Carrier guy for the longest time. Every company I worked for, we were Carrier Bryant, so I became kind of a Carrier specialist. Love the Infinity systems. I love Carrier, to be honest with you. But carrier around me, supply wise, has been atrocious. Like, you
Yeah.
can't get what you need, so that's why it was never an option. And when I first came to Beltway, they were doing Lennox and some Goodman, and then we ended up getting an amazing deal. And that's why I tell people, when you're in business, you install the company that treats you the best. Who
Yeah.
gives you the best pricing, the best kickbacks, as far as if I spend this much, we'll give you this much back. Like, that makes a difference when it comes to business. And also being able to get parts. Like, if I give somebody a 10-year part warranty and we're in year 2, we had a couple like Train and the carrier around here, and I'm speaking locally, not nationally on the brands. We'd call for a warranty for a motor, and they're like, "Oh, that's got to come from the factory. It's going to be like 3 months." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, I can't tell this customer that they can't have AC the whole summer because I can't get a motor.
Right.
So, and knock on wood, we haven't had that with Lennox. So that's
good.
That's pretty cool.
You usually hear the opposite though with Linux is Linux has a lot of specialized parts, so it's hard to get those parts from specifically Linux. While Goodman, you can interchange a lot of parts. So that's interesting to hear from you. Maybe it's just your area of the country.
Exactly.
I don't know.
And that's why I tell people, like, Lennox could be awesome here, but where you live or where other people live, Supply House could be horrible. So that's why I
Right.
tell people, don't base your opinion off of a brand and slam it nationally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, equipment, that's a different story, but as far as getting stuff, that's a local distributor issue. That's not a national issue, because that's what I tell people. And people all the time are like, "Hey, when I'm starting my own business, what brand should I sell?" That should be the least of your worries, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Get what you can get and don't fuss a bit.
yeah, exactly. So that's crazy. So, have you done? I know you said you do all residential, which is
Right.
cool. Do you are you all service, some install, back and forth?
I do no install, so it's
Okay.
completely service. Right now, at least, it may change in the future because we do have a couple service guys who do dabble in install when we need it. But no, strictly right now, I'm strictly service and maintenance. So
Sweet. And so what have you? How do they? Do you when you how do you guys? Well, I was gonna say, how do you guys get paid? Is it just hourly? Is it like a flex compensation thing where like commissions and spiffs, or
Right.
how do they work with you guys?
we do hourly and spiffs.
Nice.
So,
That's the way that I think is the best, and doesn't
Same
promote
here.
dishonesty.
Right, 100%. And there's a lot of companies out there say, "Oh, well, you shouldn't pay spiffs because that promotes dishonesty." It's like, I don't think that's the. I mean, people are going to be dishonest no matter what. So
No, yeah, exactly. It's your culture is what creates that and what you allow.
100%.
Yeah. So we have so many checks and balances, at Beltway, that I'll know if somebody's doing something not supposed to. Between the
Right.
follow-up phone calls, checking on things, the AI stuff, there's so many
Yeah.
things that I'll know if somebody's doing something. And, you don't get a 5-star Google rating, with thousands of 5-star reviews by doing bullshit.
100%. Yeah.
But I'll be honest, if I was a tech and had to go back, I would say pay me like $20-25 an hour and 10% on what I bring in.
I would like that too. I've thought about
would
that
clean
too
up.
because, obviously I've heard other techs come on here and talk about their pay scale and all that, and that would be amazing because, I mean, like you said, we'd make a killing off of that. So
Yeah, because you're betting on yourself. And I
Right.
tell people, like, I get it. If you're a good tech and you want that, $35-40 an hour or whatever it is in your area, but you can have good days, but then, maybe there's a day that you're lazy and you don't want to. And not even promoting dishonesty, but just going out and being thorough, providing options on every call.
Right.
You can make way more than that $35 an hour that you were going to make.
Yeah.
But the hard thing is getting guys to take that risk, because it's
Right.
like, I don't know. You know what I mean? So
The only thing I'd see wrong about maybe that, or that would cause an issue, is maybe you have a day where you have 1-year-old maintenances all day long. It's like, well, why am I getting all these? I want to get some opportunities so I can make some extra money, But I guess you'd have that with spiffs as well. So
See, when my guys say that to me, I'll say, I'll ride with you, and I guarantee I'll make money on all those 1-year maintenances.
Right. There's always something.
Exactly. And the best line with those people is they have a new system, and say the sales guy, whoever sold it, didn't say something about, better filtration or a UV light or a humidifier or whatever it is. That's your time to say something. And the customer's going to give you the famous line is, why didn't the guy say something when he sold it to me? And your response should be, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, we get that buying a system is already stressful enough. We don't want to add any more pressure onto it. It's something that we can always do afterwards. And most places, if you'd like, these are things that we can add on to your existing loan.
Yeah.
If they finance, stuff like that. And most people are like, that makes sense. I mean, should somebody say something at the time of sale? Yeah.
Maybe.
If they don't,
yeah.
That's the time to say something. And it's just bringing it up to people, man. A lot of people don't know these things exist. They're not technicians. They're not us.
Right.
And when you explain it to people, they're like, oh, like me, every gas furnace, natural gas or LP furnace, oil, we don't do oil here, but any kind of combustion, all of them should have humidifiers as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Combustion is a dry heat. I think that's only going to help. Just like, to me, every single stage system out there, if it doesn't have a hard start, it should have one. To me, it's only going to help it. It's not going to hurt it. Every inverter should have a surge protector on it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, those kind of things are just little low-hanging fruit that your job as a technician should be to offer those things. And if you get a little spiff, you're increasing. Like, we tell all of our techs, we give you a blank check every week. At the end of the week, if all you made was your hourly pay, that's fine, but that's your decision.
Yeah, for sure. I know you've said this before on this podcast too, but I like to just reiterate it. It's important to give people options that they actually need too. Because, I mean, if I come into your house and you have iWave or like a huge air filter from April Air that's filtering out 99.9% of allergens in the air, do you really need a UV light?
Yeah.
Or another air purifier? You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, no,
you definitely
you don't
offers,
need another. Yeah.
Right. Definitely offer them something that they'll benefit from, and they'll see that value. And I know that that's something we always talk about on this podcast is like offering stuff that they actually need, so that way they see that value. So,
well, and the biggest thing is people get caught up is when you said what the customer needs. So, we don't know what the customer needs. You know what I mean?
100%.
I get what you're saying, but it's offering them like the best system they can have, and then they'll tell you what they need and don't need, or just it's like being a detective. You walk in, if you see an asthma inhaler, people smoke, a lot of people won't, you have 2 boys, you may not do some things for yourself, but you'll do it for your children.
100%.
And it's just bringing things up. There's so many times that I've had people be like, man, I didn't even know that existed. Like, I want that. I mean, we went through a pandemic with a virus. You know what I mean? Like, people are worried about those kinds of things. And it's not my job to say no for them. If I offer it and they're like, yeah, I don't want to do that, okay, then I'm done. It's not beat them up and take their checkbook. It's just,
100%, yeah.
Hey, did you know these things existed?
Yeah, it's all about going to a maintenance call, putting in 100% effort. And then after you put in that 100% effort, those needs are going to pop up when you're done. Yeah. So,
So like I've said it a million times, like, and I used to be this guy, so I'm not saying, but that guy who goes out in the summertime and the customer comes out and says, oh, it's outside, and you go outside, you change the capacitor, it kicks on, you never go inside and you leave. Did you really do what was best for the customer? No, you didn't. So,
because what caused that capacitor to fail? Is it low on charge after you replace the capacitor? Is there a dirty filter? Is there a need inside that you didn't even see?
Yeah. So what we do at Beltway, we have an install manual and we have a service Bible that every tech before he comes, we make them read it. And there is always, think about it as the military. There's always a sequence of operations. There's always standard operating procedures that you have to do. If you hook your gauges up to a system before you adjust the charge, You need to make sure that airflow is proper. Is the filter
Yeah.
clean? Is the fan blower dirty? All these things need to be checked before you go get that 410 or 22 bottle out of your truck.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because, so many people are just like, oh, it's low.
Yeah, people are charge happy nowadays. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I was actually talking to one of our older technicians recently, and kind of made sense after talking to him a little bit because he's been in the industry for longer than I've been alive. But he was talking about how it used to be how R22 was $8 a pound. It's like, well, yeah, I'm just going to throw a pound or two in it. It only costs the customer $16. But nowadays, with the price of R22, even if you can get it, it's like, why would you waste that customer's money when it's not going to even do anything to the system?
Yeah, I bought some 22 when we got a good deal on it. Like, I want to say it was like a year and a half ago. We still probably, I bought like a half a skid or a skid, and we still have like 8 jugs left, and we're not really using it.
Right.
D-Lish, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, brother. D-Lish from BLUON, one of the tech support guys. Awesome dude. Been on the podcast before. Sorry, I just saw that.
Good old D-Lish.
Yeah. And to be honest, I think that R22 is going to be gone by the time that we use it, because our guys have gotten so good at offering options that a lot of these people, like, if it's a pound or so, like, pound or so low, people want to charge it. But like the big bulk ones, if it's completely empty, by the time we offer the repairs, people are like, well, how much does a new one cost? And we end up replacing it. So we end up not using a bunch of this R22. So I'm just afraid I'm going to get stuck with this shit and not even be able to sell it. So we'll
send it on over our way. We need it.
Yeah. Hey, might have to do that. Find a way to sell it. I've been giving people discounts.
There you go.
Especially good customers, service contract customers, club membership, or whatever you want to call it. I've been giving those people, deals, because when especially the ones that have been, members for several years, when the system does break, we're who they're going to call. I don't mind taking care of those people, so
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, I mean, you fell into this. This wasn't your plan. So you're a full-fledged, like, you riding around the van, get your calls every day. How many calls? Well, I guess it's we already said it's kind of slow now, but let's say,
yeah, it depends.
Yeah, let's say a summer. How many calls you run in a day?
Depends on how quickly I can get through them. I honestly probably around 7 or 8. So.
All right. Do you know? And if you don't know this, you don't have to say it. What do you think your average ticket per call is?
Well, right now I'm sitting around 200. So.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you guys using like a software like HouseCall Pro or one of those?
We use Successware. It's a less popular one, but I really like it. It has all the features you really need as a technician. You can write up a quote pretty quickly, send that over by email. You can get all the signatures, payment, all the stuff you need. So, it's pretty simple, but I like it because of that, because it's simple. So.
Yeah, that's cool. Hey, do me a favor, like, pull your thing apart. I think the microphone is like smacking into the. Yeah,
is that good?
Yeah, it should be good. It's just when it starts to clack, and it should be fine. Nobody said anything.
When I move
just
around,
happened to hear it. Let me see.
Gotcha.
And real fast, anybody. So some people are doing it, some people aren't. I don't know if it makes you like click something. On Facebook, sometimes your name doesn't come across. So, somebody said York takes care of us. I appreciate that comment. I don't know who you are because it doesn't say your name. Like D-Lish, his says his name, so I'm not sure if you have to click something. So do me a favor, if you post, say your name. Want to welcome you to the show, but to me it just says Facebook user, just so you know.
I think I saw Finney in here earlier. That's one of my coworkers. So what's up, Finney?
Oh, nice. Yeah, there was. I think I did see that person. So yeah, they were in here earlier. Said this guy Nathan got me into the podcast too. I've only ever listened it to audio only. Turned in to this show. So glad to be a part of it. Well, thank you, Finney. I appreciate you coming. So, Nathan, thanks for spreading the word. I
No
appreciate
problem.
that. D-List said I'm special. You are, my man. You are. D-List, are you going to be in AHR, my friend?
That'd be cool to meet him.
Yeah. So that's awesome. If you guys didn't hear, so this is going to be Nathan's first AHR, which is awesome. Like we said last week with Ben, it's kind of like the Disneyland for HVAC techs. So, oh, he said I'm still lurking. I just changed my name. It says it's under Zeke Macius.
Oh yeah, that's his full name. Yep.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Coming here rocking his government name, not hiding. How about that? Well, thank you for being here, brother. I appreciate that. No, that's cool, man. What kind of vans you guys rocking?
Ram ProMasters. I have a 2022, I believe, or 21. But I got it brand new about a year ago, or maybe 2 years ago, and I put like 48,000 miles on it. So yeah,
That's nice,
it
man.
goes
Yeah,
quick.
we have both. We like the Dodge ProMasters, but then we bought some of the brand new Ford Transit mid roofs only because we couldn't find the Dodges. During the COVID stuff, but we have a mixture. But I know Ryan, which, matter of fact, let me say this real fast. You guys know Ryan, one of my best friends, the owner of Beltway. Today is his birthday.
Woo!
I think Ryan's 29. He's a young buck. But today's his
Wow.
birthday, so happy birthday, Ryan, if he listens to this.
He looks a lot older.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, I remember when me and Ryan first became friends, we were on a job, and the guy, so people see me older and automatically assume that I'm the owner.
Right.
And Ryan was talking about something, and I was like, oh, yeah, I was like, this is the owner. And the guy looked at him and was like, yeah, right. And I'm like, no, I'm serious. Like, I'm like, yeah, he owns the company. So I think that's why Ryan
That's
keeps that
funny.
little salt and pepper in his hair. So
Yeah. Yeah.
he said 29.
He's not too much older than me, actually. I'm 25, so
Oh, yeah, you guys are babies, man.
yeah, I guess so.
D-List said 29. He's still wet behind the ears. He is, man. I give it to him. He's a smart dude, man. When it comes to business, Ryan is extremely intelligent. So,
Yeah. Seems like it, obviously. So
yeah, very, 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 very smart dude and man, risky. When it comes to business, sometimes you gotta take risk, and
Yeah.
he's definitely willing to do that. So, but that's awesome, dude. I got to give it to you. So. You've gotten some, that's pretty awesome to be in the trade 3 years. The first company you go to is awesome, and you get a brand new van. All right, because
right. Well,
when I started,
it's
I
the
didn't get no
second company I've been to, but
Oh, second. Okay,
it's
but
okay.
okay. So second company, but you've been in trade 3 years, and then get a brand new van. That's awesome. Because I
Right.
drove around in some fucking shit boxes before I got.
I have
nice
had my
vans.
fair share too in the past 3 years, so I've earned it.
I remember when I left my dad, man, and I went to work for this local refrigeration company, and they gave me this old Ford Econoline van that this guy retired, and he must have, and I smoke cigarettes, but this guy must have, like, it was like one after another. And there was just that van smelled so bad. And
I
then
bet.
I was cleaning it out, and there was a uneaten tuna fish sandwich under the
Oh my
seat.
gosh.
Yeah, let's just say it was rough, very, very
Yeah.
rough.
At the previous company I was at, there was one guy who got fired, and he decided he wanted to leave all of his rotten food in the van. And then when he dropped it off, took all of his tools out, he went in the back and took a crap and then left it.
Yeah,
And it's
no.
that van sat in that parking lot for months because no one wanted to get in there and clean it out. So yeah,
The dude Zeke said, "Did you finish the sandwich?" Or your buddy Finney. That's funny. Yeah, hell no, man. I wanted to puke. That thing was so gross. Dila says my first rig was a Mazda MPV minivan. If you blacked out the windows, I wouldn't have let you near any school zones. That's funny. That's funny. Jason Johnson says, ha ha ha, I had some shit boxes before. Luckily, I've been fortunate the last few years. Yes, that's the one thing we try to do. Like, we don't have any shitty vans, to be honest.
That's good.
All of our vans are new. We have, our oldest van is one of the old Chevy Expresses, or it's the GMC Sierra version or GMC version, whatever. And Ryan's nephew Jimmy drives in that, and he does bitch about it, but he'll be rewarded. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's Ryan's nephew. He's
Right.
giving him the hard way to go, but he's a good kid. He'll eventually get something nice. But that's the
There you
only
go.
older van that we have. Let me ask you this, man, because these fucking things go by so fast. What made you get on the Instagram and start like putting yourself out there? And I see that you do like the tech tips and
Yeah.
filming your work. Like what made you say, hey, I want to do this?
Honestly, you, man.
Well, that's not what I was expecting. But
It's
thank you.
100%, because I remember one podcast, I forget what it was you were talking about. Maybe it was one with a reliable HVACR or something like that. Adrian.
Yeah.
You guys were talking about that, and I remember you were talking about like, yeah, just go ahead and start filming your work. Like, you don't have to be famous from it, but like just posting your work if you're proud of it, And that's ended up what got me into it. Is like I'm proud of my work, so yeah, I want to put it out there and not really get like attaboys from it, but just like it's fun to post videos online and even funny videos and get that response and spark up conversations with people. And I can say right now, like I've gained more friends from doing that because I start talking to other influencers and messaging with them, and it's pretty cool to be in that community now. So I'm happy I started doing it, and I'm excited to see where it goes. Kind of like what you say about the podcast. It's like I'll take what I can get, and it's like I'm just having fun with it right now. So
That's awesome, dude. I'm glad that I could be that. That's not the answer I was expecting, but I'm glad. That's awesome, dude. I'm glad that you chose to do that, man. It's that is an amazing compliment. My buddy James O'Lul. Some of you guys might not remember James. He did the Better Air stuff with me. James is a friend of mine. We were hanging out in Orlando, so it's so awesome to see James here. But yeah, that's awesome because I tell people, because for one, it holds you accountable when you're doing your work. And
100%, yeah.
the more people out there showing good quality work, we're just raising the bar for the community. And Instagram, I think, is an amazing community. I love Instagram. Even though I have a shit ton of followers on Facebook, I question, I know it's a lot of good people just blowing some steam off, but it's not really a positive atmosphere. Let's just be
100%. I'd agree with that.
Yeah, I don't go in my own group, to be honest.
I just post in there to get some negative comments sometimes. Like if I feel like I want to get some negative comments, sometimes I post in there.
TikTok has been pretty decent.
100%.
The Chinese are stealing all your information. Be careful. It's
Whatever.
Chinese government. Yeah, but I do love the Instagram community. I think there's a bunch of awesome people out there. And you get more positive stuff than negative stuff. And so that's awesome. So it's funny that you say that because I am actually going to try. I'm going to do it for New Year's. I'm going to make a video in the next couple of days. I'm going to do a giveaway to help promote that. Somebody that wants to start. The only thing is I'm trying to make sure that it's somebody who legit wants to do it because I have a Osmo Pocket 2 that has a microphone and everything with it.
Wow.
That I am willing to give away. It's going to be your creator starter kit. That I'm willing to just, I think I bought that thing brand new. I think I spent like $700-800, and I'm willing to give it away. It's got a whole bunch of little extra things, a case, all other kinds of stuff that I will give away to somebody who really wants to start filming their work. And that thing is got a little gimbal. It's small. It's not big. I got the newer one, which is badass. I'll have it at HR. But
there you go.
Yeah, they can use that to help film their work. And so I don't know. Maybe I have to wait till after the first year because my thing is I want to make sure it goes to somebody who's going to use it and not somebody win it like, oh, I want it, and then they just fucking hawk it or something. That's
hey, you never know. I may be your only comment on that post again.
Hey, you might be right. That was crazy. I was giving away a veto bag for BLUON and made the post, and Nate was the only comment, and I was like, oh man, I forgot to do this. I'm like, let me put it out one more time, put it back out. Nothing. I was like, it's all yours, buddy. I mean, a deal's a deal.
Honestly, I didn't think you were going to give it to me. I was like, yeah, he's going to be like, yeah, I'm going to do another one, and we'll get more comments to be on there, so it's fair. But once you said, I'll give it to you, I was like, oh, dang, let's go, man. Yeah. But yeah, that bag has been great. I've only had $30 Amazon bags like my whole entire career, and dude, this is a game changer. Like, it's so awesome. Like, all the pockets are great. I used to have a bag that just had like a big opening in the middle and pockets on the side, and I just end up throwing all my trash and stuff in the inside, and it started getting so heavy. Like, I would get all bogged down going into calls because my bag was so heavy. But no, this Vito bag's amazing.
That
If
was
you don't have a
actually
Vito bag, get one.
that was actually my first Vito bag. The first
Oh,
one I
really?
ever had
The
is the
LC?
same one, the Tech LT. I've had tons of them now, but I agree they're the best bags. I think they're worth the money.
100%.
And we'll see. And that's why I like buying them, because I get it that they're not cheap, and not everybody
Right.
can go drop $250, $300 on a bag. And just so everybody knows, I buy all those with my own money. And to be honest, I bought that bag, and I say that it's from BLUON. Granted, I mean, BLUON sponsors me, so I can say that BLUON paid for it. But I go buy those bags. Vito has never give me a bag to give away. I
Wow.
believe in their bags, and I want people to have them, so I go buy them and give them away. So I pay full price.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I appreciate it, man. I mean, that's awesome. That's great that you do that for us. Cause I mean, like I said, I probably would have never bought one for myself. I wanted one, but probably would have never spent the money on one. And now that I have one, I'm like, yeah, that's the only bag I'm ever going to buy. So
Yeah, that's awesome. So that's exactly why I do it. So I'm glad you get to enjoy it. Did you file your warranty for it?
I did. Yep.
Okay, cool, yeah. Because I was gonna say, if you had any issue, if you just say one of the stores, you'll be able to get that 5-year, 0 downtime warranty.
Right.
And
Yeah. The warranty is one of the biggest selling points too, because I mean, it's a no bullcrap guarantee. I mean, I actually had a coworker who I think something was wrong with it, so he threw his backpack in the dumpster, the Vito backpack in the dumpster at our work, and then my other coworker pulled it out of the dumpster and then filed the warranty on it and got a free Vito backpack from it.
oh, jeez, yeah.
He only paid $40 to send it in shipping, and he got a free Vito bag from it. So
Yeah, that's what I tell people, man. Like, those bags are going to last you a minimum of 5 years. So there's some that are, $350 if you get some of the ones, but let's say average $200. So
Right.
$200 is going to last you 5 years.
Yeah, you can't
or
beat that.
more. You know what I mean? Versus buying those $30 bags that, sometimes you got to buy them more than once a year because
Right.
they're not made to hold up. I just think it's an investment in yourself. But I also get a lot of these young guys starting out, they're not making crazy money. They got to pay their bills. They're trying to get their tools. Don't try to go get all that stuff at one time. A lot of us on here, at least a lot of the guys I know in the chat, they've been doing this for years. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, we've had time to build up our arsenal. That's
Right.
why I tell our people, our employees, I'm like, use your tool loan. We'll let
Yeah.
guys do a tool loan. Obviously, you got to be here 90 days, but it's a 0% interest loan. It makes them better. I'm all for helping them, get their tools. And I did that back in the day. And now I have, a little bit of everything, probably 3 or 4 of them. But I give stuff away to some of the guys. You know what I mean? If I have extras, I'm like, hey, I'll give it to them.
Right.
One thing I want to touch on before I forget about what you said about, starting to make videos and stuff like that. And one thing that I loved that I probably didn't see when I first started doing this podcast is it's awesome that I've been able to help people,
Yeah.
Help you and help others. Like, that makes me feel awesome. That's more rewarding than any financial gain that I get from this podcast.
Yeah.
But I have learned so much myself. That's what I love. Like, say you do make a video and it does look good, but somebody with positivity comes on and says, hey, man, if you run that like this, or if you check this, and this, or whatever it is, and you learn something. That's what I love about the community, when it's learning
for
things
sure.
from people. And it's amazing. I mean, I'm getting older, but it's not, can't teach an old dog new tricks. I love to learn. And that's why I like
Well, that's a
teaching
good
our
attitude
guys.
to have too, for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, because a lot of I mean, not that you're old, but not a lot of older guys in our industry are like, not flowing nitro, blah, blah, blah. I've done it for 40 years like this and never had a call back. So it's good that you have that mindset for sure.
Yeah, and it's one of the worst things I see that happen, and a lot of times it's newer, younger technicians. Like they learn enough that they can get through their calls, and they stop the learning process. And all they
That's
do
always
is
sad to see.
exactly they handicap themselves. And I remember like my dad was carrying me when I worked with him because I knew my dad was behind me. He was the resource. He was the encyclopedia. Like, oh, Dad, what do I do again? Oh, take this wire and put it here. And then when I left my dad, and I've said this story a million times, called him. And then my dad was like, hey,
don't call me anymore.
yeah, you gonna split your paycheck with me? You know? All right, bam. Best thing he ever did, man, because it made me, I hate not knowing something. You
Right.
know? Even like when it comes to cars, I'm mechanically inclined. I've done industrial refrigeration, air conditioning, commercial air conditioning, refrigeration, kitchen equipment, residential. I've worked on a little bit of everything. I've always been mechanically inclined. But if I don't know the ins and outs on how to do something, sometimes I kind of back off of it a little bit. Like working on cars, and my buddy, he was like, he's like, you could do this. He was like, you rebuilt, compressors and stuff like that. He's like, it's the same concept. And once I got to doing it, I'm just rocking and rolling, taking things apart, and he's not even saying anything. And he was like, I told you. And I'm like, yeah, but I've never done it. You know what I mean? So once somebody points me in the right direction, I'll rock and roll. I don't know. Even now that I'm in the office, like, and I love that part of it, which it took me a little bit to get there. I hated the fucking office when I first did it, because I'm a tech at heart. I like using my hands. I like fixing things. I love the teaching part, but now I like being able to go out and help the guys make money or teach them something or do something to help save the day. You know what I mean? Like it's awesome.
Right. Well, I think there's this one saying, there was a bunch of studies done about change in people's lives. And it's against our human nature to change something in our lives, like a certain thing we do every day. That's how habits form, as we keep doing the same thing every day. So it's kind of against our human nature to keep learning stuff every single day. But that's what our industry is about. And that's kind of what I like most about this industry is like, I'm never going to know everything, and I'm totally okay with that. So
it's constantly evolving. Like we're getting ready to have like new refrigerants come out. We're gonna have to learn how to take care of that. All the A2L stuff.
Right.
Like there's gonna constantly be things that we have to keep learning, and I love it. Like I remember, and I like to be on the front wave of the technology that's coming out.
Right.
Because I don't want to be on the back end. I think that's just you don't want to be the ass of it. Is what I always say.
100%. Yeah.
Like inverters, like when I hear customers like, tell me what another tech said, and he was like, oh, well, he told me that, a 16 SEER single stage unit is the best system to buy. That these inverters are just a bunch of overpriced garbage. And I was like, okay, well, I can prove to you with factual, not my opinion, with factual evidence that is not true.
Right.
Does it mean that you shouldn't be offered a 16 SEER single stage unit? No, that's not what I'm saying. But to say that you shouldn't be offered the other stuff or it's not worth it or garbage is simply untrue.
100%. Yeah.
My last house, I bought inverters and put them in my house because I wanted to experience it. And once I did, I fucking fell in love with it. And it was so easy to offer it to other customers. Like I was showing pictures of the outdoor units like it was my fucking kids, and a customer made me feel so happy because he was like, Gil, he's like, I can feel your passion for this come through when you talk to me. And that's why they bought it. And I'm like, well, that's what I want. That's why I did this. That's why I bought them and put in my own house. And when I get my new house, I'm going to put in inverters too, but it's going to be Lennox, but that's cool.
Hey, Linux inverters are good too. So.
Oh yeah. I love their the Elite stuff. The Dave Lennox stuff is obviously awesome. Our Lennox dealer is gonna hook me up, but if they don't give me signature stuff, I'm fine with the Elite. There's like the what is it? The
EL
22 and the EL 23.
right.
Yeah. So yeah, the 23 is the 23 SEER AC, and then the 22 is the 22 SEER heat pump. But
What's the highest SEER they sell now? It's like 28 or something. That's
28,
crazy.
yeah, that's the
That's crazy.
signature.
That's like taller than me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and they're both nice. I mean, the signature line is definitely a little bit quieter. You know, some of the things, but to be honest, when our guys sell equipment, we have 4 pre-built options, and literally we have the signature option. 8% of people are the ones that they want the best of the best.
Yeah.
You know, but then we have the other option underneath of that, which is the Elite system, which is still inverter technology. But that signature one makes that Elite option look so much better. When people are like, oh, I love this signature option, but I don't want to spend that much. Do you have something that's similar technology but not as expensive? Well, actually, I do. Let me show you the next option. And people are like, I'll do that. Okay. It's called price conditioning. Yeah. We all do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know?
We do that. We do stuff like that too. I mean, like I said, we offer the Daikin equipment. So Daikin has their fit line, and I love their fit line. I think it's one of the best inverters out there. Honestly, I do. And we offer the single stage stuff. We offer the 2-stage, and we'll do the fit, and then I will do their full inverter, set up the 20 SEER. And I think the inverter and on our price plan, it's like $20 or $30 more a month. It's like, well, why wouldn't you do that? You know.
Yeah. The only thing about the so we didn't do the Daikin fits, but we had a sales guy that's no longer with us, and he loves selling the Amana S, which is the Daikin fit.
Right, it's the same thing.
Yeah, but the only thing is they weren't Energy Star rated, and you couldn't get the 25C tax credit. Which I was
that is
like,
true.
Damn. So I do think they are cool systems, and I know people that love them. And
well, Daikin actually rebounded from that because they're offering a certain amount of rebates on the fits now. And I mean, us as a company, we're matching those rebates. So let's say you get a fit system from us and get the full rebate of I think it's like $1,200 from Daikin. We'll match that rebate. So you'll get up to $2,400 off your system if you get a fit from us. So that kind of rebounds from that Energy Star rebate thing. And that's an instant rebate too. So you don't have to file it and then go through all that and wait for it. And then, it's a mess doing it that way, but the instant rebate really helps. So,
yeah. 2 things. One, so the Daikin fit uses the same special thermostat as the Amana S, correct?
Yeah, they have their Daikin 1 thermostat. You can also use a ComfortNet CTK04 on it as well. But we tend to steer towards the Daikin 1 because warranty and suppliers and all that, we can get it easier than the CTK04. So
yeah, no, that makes sense. We've had a bunch of customers that were slick, and I'm not gonna tell them no, but they'll be replacing 2 systems in their house, and they're like, I want to do one of them in December and the other one in January because they want to get that 25C tax credit in 2 consecutive years.
That's pretty smart.
Yeah, so I've had quite a few, and I'm like, okay. And most of them paid up front. You know, I just split it into 2 invoices. You know, I'll change the date or whatever. I'm like, whatever, that's cool.
Yeah.
This one guy, I actually got him from my buddy Nate Adams from HVAC 2.0.
Oh, yeah.
They did something for somebody. Nate called me and said, hey, this isn't close to you. It's closer to DC. Do you want it? And I'm like, fucking right, I want it. Because all these customers want high-end inverters because they're going on electric.
I'm not going to say no to that.
Yeah, this guy wanted the signature stuff. He was like, yeah, no, I don't. I want the best of the best. And I was like, okie dokie. I was like, you got it, buddy.
I'll drive on out there.
Yeah, and it wasn't as far as I thought it was because really DC is only 45 minutes with no traffic. And we're not going into the heart. We're just going in the outskirts. The guy lives in a $1.2 million house, but the only thing is the house doesn't look like a 1.2. It's a nice house. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't look like. I wouldn't, if I had to put a number on it, I wouldn't say 1.2 million. The area he lives in is nice. That makes the property worth that. You know.
Gotcha. I see. Yeah.
Yeah. So I looked at it and I was like, Jesus. Let me some of these comments real fast. Jason, of course, brother. It's my pleasure, man. I'm glad that you're rocking and rolling. Mr. Ty Branderman is in here. That's another awesome resource for people looking to learn. The podcast that him and Craig did together were amazing. I can't wait till next year to get up and start doing some videos with Craig, Mr. AC Service Tech. If you don't know who I'm talking about when I say Craig.
Oh yeah, I know who Craig is.
Yeah, Craig's the man. Dude.
How could you not know who Craig is?
Yeah, he's awesome. And Ty, man, I gotta get in touch with you, man. I'd love to have you on here, man. Sit down and actually have a conversation with you. Ty, are you going to be at AHR? I thought somebody said you were, but I didn't want to assume. Ooh, somebody said Chris. I work a lot with VRV 3 and 4. Don't mind them. Okay,
We do some VRV work.
Oh shit.
Those VRVs are sweet.
Oh shit, what did I do? Clicked the button and everything went off.
Oh no.
See you, Zeke. Happy New Year, brother. Have a good one, my man. Well, shit, man. We're past an hour, but
Oh wow, already.
It's amazing how fast these things fly. And I try to keep it an hour for editing purposes. And then I think it's easier to listen to because I think if you start going too long, you got to break it up into two-parters.
Right.
And I'm impatient, so I never like two-parters because I'm like, I don't want to wait till next week to fucking hear the end of the conversation, you know? But and that's awesome. You guys that are coming to HR, so I have a bunch of stuff to give away there.
Awesome.
T-shirts, stickers,
I'll make
hats.
sure to see you.
Yeah, definitely come see me. Yeah, man, we'll end this. Nate, I want to thank you so much for coming on, man. I appreciate your support of the podcast, spreading the word. You know, you seem like a definitely young, awesome guy in the trade, which I love. I love seeing that, dude. The fact that you're working for a good company, you know, being able to take care of your family, your two young boys, wife, all that good stuff. And the fact that you took the risk to go out on social media and do that, that is awesome. And the fact you said it's because of me, that is a huge compliment. So I appreciate that, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
I appreciate it. Yeah. I appreciate you having me on too. It's been fun, and appreciate everyone in the chat. So.
Yeah, man. Oh, you know, stay in touch, man. You're always more than welcome to come on. I think after the first of the year, I'm going to start doing maybe on the weekend, start doing the hangouts again, where everybody can just come in and BS. I want to get back to doing those. They're definitely fun. It's just finding the time to do it. But yeah, stay in touch, man. You're always welcome. And thanks again, man. Keep rocking it, buddy.
All right. See ya.
All right, buddy. Let me close this out. Well, thank all of you in the chat, man. We had between Facebook and YouTube, there was a decent amount of people in the chat tonight, so that is always awesome to see. Try to go through here. Obviously, Rookie was here. I know he left. He had to go to dinner with his daughter. Jason Johnson is always here. Obviously, Nathan Christian, because he was on the podcast. Let's see, Mr. Ty Brandeman, which is awesome to see, and thank you so much, Ty. Finney, which is his friend, thank you for coming and joining the show, man. I appreciate you listening to the audio. Thank you very much. Which is also Zeke, which is Finney. Facebook users, everybody on Facebook, thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it. Mr. D-Lish being on here. Appreciate you, brother. James Alul, I'm so awesome, James, that you came on, man. I'd love to talk to you, buddy. It's been too long. I hope you're doing okay and everything's going good. Mr. Zeke Warner for being on here. Zeke is another Maryland guy. Love Zeke. Let's see. I saw Mr. C. Young come in there. Z-Mac. Thank you for coming in, buddy. You said, I so hope to make it to HR. I hope you do, man. Anybody going to HR, come find me. I will be there. Just got a veto. Way to go, Z-Mac. Sorry, I missed some of these comments. I think I got East Coast. There he is. What's up, East Coast? So thank all you guys for being here. I hope all of you had an amazing Christmas with your families. I hope that you have an amazing New Year, man. Be safe. Go out, drink your beers, all that kind of stuff. Don't drink and drive. Just be safe. That's all I say. You know what I mean? But have an amazing New Year. All I say is stay safe. Keep it classy. Exactly, Young. Keep it classy. Yeah, just be safe, man. I will be on here next week. I have a good show for you next week. Got shows every week. The audio podcast was not out this week. I wasn't going to put it out on Christmas. I was going to put it out Tuesday, but Christmas night, I had a few glasses of wine, and I just didn't feel like it, I'll be honest. So I'll release the next podcast next Monday. Normally, I took off for the holidays. Like, I wouldn't be here today or next week, but I didn't do that this year. I had some good people booked, and it's all good. With that being said, great show tonight, man. Nate is a good guy. To me, I say kid because he's 25, but I love seeing this. I love hearing those stories of how people got into the trade. I don't know why. I love hearing those kind of stories. The fact that he's doing good. He found an awesome company, willing to put his work out there on video. A lot of people talk a good game, but they won't put their work out there. So the fact that he did that says a lot about him, and I think that it's fucking awesome. And the fact that he said that he did it because of me, that's awesome, man. Like, those kind of comments is why I do this. And I'm nobody special. I'm just somebody that does what all of you guys and gals do. I just happen to put a microphone in front of me. That's just really the only difference. But I'm glad to be able to help everybody else, and you guys have all helped me in return. So with that being said, let me stop running my mouth and close this out. Guys, remember, be safe out there. We all got somebody to make it home to. Keep your head on a swivel. I don't care if it's driving, electrical panel, whatever it is. If it's on New Year's, all right? Be careful. Fucking lunatics in this world, okay? Make it home the same way you left. Do the little things. Keep you set yourself apart from the next guy or girl. Keep learning. Book, podcast, online course, a local trade school, whatever it is, just keep trying to better yourself. And if you are really good at what you do, give back to the industry. Give back to people at your work. Help them. Be like, hey, man, I see every time that you're hooking that unit up, you're doing this. Well, if you did it this way, this would be easier. Give back that knowledge, man. All right? Don't be one of those guys that retires with a wealth of knowledge and just takes it with you. Okay? We've said this a million times on this podcast. When those older guys retire off, it's like a library being burned down. Don't let your library get burned down, man. All right? Turn that bitch into a public library. Make sure everybody gets to read the books. You know what I mean? So give back, help somebody. All right? And give a shit. Care about the people you work with, the people you're around. Notice things. Spread positivity in the world. I promise you, if you spread positivity, is what you're going to get back. Okay? If you're shitty attitude and you're like that every day, then it's probably a shitty way to live. All right? Spread positivity. With that being said, I love you mofos, man. Stay safe, and I'll talk with you mofos next week. All right? Peace.
Thanks for listening to the HVAC Uncensored podcast. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram, or email us anytime at hvacuncensored@gmail.com. Now, get back to work. Shut this down. The views and opinions shared on the HVAC Uncensored podcast may not necessarily be the views and opinions of our sponsors or guests.
Later, bitches!